is Nik Zantop. I use they, them pronouns. For me, I would say family can mean many different things. It's the family that you are related to, and it's also the family that you choose, the folks who affirm you, the folks who love you unconditionally, the folks who are always there for you. Chosen family is so important because, for so many of us, growing up, we didn't always have folks who affirmed us in our full existence, and finding folks who understand us, who are there for us, who are willing to grow with us, it's really important. I think I can find joy in the city and in nature. I love traveling, finding new cultures to explore, new places to see. But I do love nature. I love the ocean. So I grew up in the Bahamas until I was about 5 years old. So being around the ocean, it's something that goes back an awfully long time. I love free diving. I love being underwater. When you're underwater, it's that feeling of weightlessness, freedom, just being surrounded by fish, water. So I think it's important to share your story with others because you never know who's going through what and how your story can help inspire them, even in little tiny ways. There are so many folks who may see bits of themselves reflected in others, and being able to show up, even when it's sometimes uncomfortable, it's really important to hold that space so that others can hear their stories being shared, they can see themselves reflected. For trans folks especially, building community means showing up in those spaces. So for me, showing up is so crucial. So I don't think I could point to any one individual who was the sole inspiration that led the way. Growing up, I went to school just down the road from here in Fort Lauderdale, and back many years ago, we didn't have the same support structures that exist in our community today. There weren't as many people to look to as role models. We didn't know what all of the options were. A lot of times you could feel as if you were very alone in your identity, in your existence. And that's part of the reason why I'm passionate about doing the work that I do today, is so that we can create spaces for folks, so that no one ever feels like they are the only person going through something, so that no one ever feels like they are the only person experiencing what they're experiencing. I find love in a lot of places. It's in the community. It's in the collaborations when we all come together, working towards common goals, common causes. It's in finding solidarity in the work. It's in finding solidarity in the moments of connection with our chosen family. A camera of some sort. These days it's generally a phone. Taking pictures has always been a big part of my life. So having a camera of some kind is super important. So before I transitioned into nonprofit work, photography was my career for many years. So it was a long time ago. I was just a toddler when I lived there. But I think those formative years really made me fall in love with the ocean, fall in love with the outdoors, really helped me to find solace in nature. I hope that the takeaway from my advocacy work is that you can show up as who you are, whatever that looks like, whoever you are, and that there is a place for everyone in this work and in this world. For folks who are finding themselves fearful, for folks who are finding themselves afraid in this moment, I think we can hold space for that because there are scary moments. Our community is facing an onslaught of hate and bigotry and attacks against our community. But it's in moments like these that we need to find connection with each other. We need to pour into each other, hold space for each other. And trans folks have been through a lot. Trans folks have always existed. Trans folks will always exist. And we have always lifted each other up. We have always been there for each other. And I think that's what we're going to keep doing. I would say that I find my voice for this work by seeing other strong leaders in community, by seeing folks who show up unapologetically as who they are. It's inspiring to see folks like the leader of our organization, Tatiana Williams, showing up in spaces, speaking truth to power. Sometimes it means putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. Sometimes it means speaking out when no one else is saying what needs to be said. I would say that what scares me is people not having spaces to grow, to exist, to thrive? Right now, I would say my guilty pleasure is espresso. I love espresso. I just got an espresso machine, so I've been making too many espresso drinks. You know, for folks who are struggling to move forward, I would say look for your people, look for your community. And that may not be people who are in your immediate vicinity. It could be folks online. But there is community out there for everyone. There are folks like everyone in every place all around the world. Things do get better. You will find your people.